All right, so we've got this deep dive set up just for you based on what you sent in. And I got to say, what you tolerate, you accept is pretty profound for just a single sentence.
It is. It is. It's deceptively simple, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
But it really does cut to the core of, I think, how we approach, personal growth and really just how we live our lives.
For sure. And that's kind of our mission here, right? To like unpack this efficiently for you so you walk away and are like, "All right, I got some actual usable insights out of that into how, what we just let slide is shaping what we can actually do."
Yeah, because we often don't realize how powerful that passive acceptance can be.
Yeah.
It's like a slow drip that eventually, fills the bucket.
And that's what we want to dive into here with you, right?
Exactly.
So the first part of this that you sent in is if you allow excuses, you'll stay stuck.
Right?
And it's interesting because immediately it's like, "Oh, okay, think about that in your own life for a sec."
Yeah.
Where are you making excuses maybe or letting other people's excuses kind of slide in a way that's like actually stopping things from moving forward?
What's interesting about that is that it often comes down to fear.
Oh, yeah.
Fear of failures, fear of discomfort.
Yeah, for sure.
Our brains are wired to seek out the familiar. And even if it's not really serving us,
It's comfortable.
it is comfortable. Exactly. And so tolerating those excuses, whether they're our own or coming from others, it kind of creates this bubble of comfort that can be really hard to break out of.
It's like knowing that you need to update your phone.
Yeah,
But you're like, "Oh, I'll do it later. Oh, that's going to take too long." Oh, whatever reason.
exactly. It's procrastination 101,
But this is saying just like figuring out what those excuses are that you're letting go
right?
is like the first step to actually busting out.
It's that initial awareness that's so crucial.
So what are some of the things that are like maybe not as obvious that come from just letting these excuses kind of pile up?
Well, I think one of the big ones is that it can really erode your sense of agency.
Oh, interesting.
Because when you're constantly accepting excuses, you're essentially shifting the responsibility away from yourself
Oh, wow.
and onto external factors. Like saying, "Oh, it's not my fault, it's because of this or that."
Right.
And that can make you feel less in control of your own life and your own outcomes.
Hmm. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so the next part you sent in is if you accept mediocrity, you'll never grow.
Right?
And mediocrity I think is so personal, right?
Absolutely. It's subjective.
It could be at work, it could be in your hobbies, your relationships, anywhere that you're just like, yeah, good enough.
Yeah, settling.
But this is saying that that's directly connected to not growing, to being stagnant.
And it's not even necessarily about being bad at something.
Right.
It's more about that moment when you decide, consciously or unconsciously, that this is as far as I need to go.
Right.
Even if deep down, you're capable of more.
It's like you're putting a cap on it yourself.
Exactly. You're self-limiting. And when we zoom out and look at the bigger picture of personal development, that's where things really stall.
So it's not just like, okay, I'm at a plateau. It's like you're actually hindering future potential growth.
Precisely.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting because now it shifts to something way more proactive. Demand more from yourself and life will give you more.
I love that line.
Yeah.
Because it really highlights the power we have to shape our own reality.
Right.
It's not about entitlement. It's about recognizing your own worth and potential.
So it's almost like setting those stretch goals for yourself.
Exactly. Like aiming just a little bit higher than you think you can reach.
Right.
Because that's often when you discover you're capable of so much more than you thought.
It's like instead of waiting for something to come along, you're making it happen.
You're creating your own opportunity.
Through your internal drive.
Absolutely.
So does demanding more imply that you got to have like this belief in yourself?
Yeah, I think it does require a certain level of self-belief.
Even if it's like a little bit.
Even if it's just a spark to begin with, because that spark can grow
It can grow.
as you take action and see results.
But it raises a good point about like internal agency, right?
Absolutely.
By making the decision to have higher standards for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you're saying to yourself and to everyone else, I'm capable of more.
You're raising the bar.
Yeah.
And that can have a ripple effect on everything you do.
So almost like by setting those higher benchmarks, you get better at seeing opportunities.
Yeah.
And you're more willing to put in the work to make them happen.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way.
So to bring this all together for you,
Yeah.
what this piece is saying is that what we're okay with what we just let slide actually determines how much we can grow. Those excuses that we make or accept that comfortable feeling of like, this is fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually putting a limit on what we can do.
It treats a ceiling.
But the good news is that if we make the choice to expect more from ourselves, that opens up way more potential to achieve bigger things.
It's empowering, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And so it leaves you with a question to think about.
Right.
What's one thing in your life right now that you're kind of tolerating?
Mm-hmm.
Where, deep down, it's not really what you want or what you're capable of.
Yeah.
And what would happen if you just decided, like, no more, I deserve better. I'm going to demand more.
What would shift?
What could that change in your life in the long run?
It's a powerful question to sit with for a while.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So we'll leave you with that to ponder.
I hope this deep dive has given you some food for thought.
Absolutely. And thanks again for sending in that awesome lime.
Yeah, it was a good one.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See ya.